Hello friends, and welcome to the first episode of The Great Voices. Today, Rise Steenberg, the captivating American mezzo-soprano who commanded the stage of the Metropolitan Opera in a series of roles that she made her own, who continued to give back to the Met and a new generation of singers in retirement, and who even became a box office draw in Hollywood. She was born Rise Steenberg in New York City on June 11, 1913, and studied at the Juilliard School, before, as many young American singers had done before her, going to Europe to continue her studies and to gain experience. She studied in Vienna with the celebrated producer Herbert Graf, and made her debut in Prague in 1936 in the title role of Mignon. She continued to stay with the opera in Prague, and during that time also made her debut for the Metropolitan Opera on tour on November the 22nd, 1938 in Philadelphia, in one of the roles that she would come to dominate at the Met, Octavian, in Der Rosenkavalier by Richard Strauss. 3 weeks later, she would make her formal debut at the Met as Mignon. In her first 2 seasons there, Octavian and Mignon were the only roles she sang, along with, quite surprisingly, Fricka in both Das Rheingold and Die Walküre. It wasn't until 1940 that she added any new roles to her repertoire at the Met: the Randy Page Cherubino in Mozart's La Notte di Figaro, and the sultry seductress and amateur hairdresser Dalila. On December 29, 1945, she sang another seductress that she would make her own during her career, Bizet's Carmen. With the exceptions of Marina in Boris Godunov, Marfa in Kovanchkina, and Laura in La Gioconda, Mignon, Carmen, Octavian, and Dalila became her core repertoire during her career at the Met. In 1950, she sang the perpetually bored Prince Orlovsky in a new production of Johann Strauss's Die Fledermaus, which was sung in English, with updated topical lyrics for Prince Orlovsky's Chacun a sa goût in Act 2. She reveled in the chance to play comedy for the first time at the Met, sporting a monocle and a meter-long cigarette holder. Her next new production was the famous Carmen, directed by the English director Tyrone Guthrie. She was paired with tenor Richard Tucker as an intense Don José. Their chemistry on stage was palpable, and they spurred each other on to a spine-tingling finale, which in this production took place in Carmen's room near the bull ring. After throwing the ring he had given her back in his face, an enraged José stabs Carmen in the groin, and as she falls, she grabbed the red curtain in the window, which slowly fell to the floor and covered her body. So realistic was the staging, members of the audience swore they could hear the knife going in. The production was a huge success both for Rise and the Met, and it stayed in the repertoire there until 1961. It also gained a bit of notoriety one evening when, long before Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl, Rise had a wardrobe malfunction during her struggles with Don José in Act 3, and in the Saturday afternoon broadcast of 1958, she even had her shoulder accidentally dislocated by tenor Giuseppe Di Stefano during the same scene. You can actually clearly hear her say, "Put my arm down," during the broadcast. After a quick backstage tour by the Met's house doctor during the intermission, she was right and rein for the start of Act 4. A stunningly beautiful woman, it was only a matter of time until Hollywood came calling. And in 1941 she appeared in the film version of the musical The Chocolate Soldier. The success of that film led to her starring role as an opera singer in the hit movie Going My Way, where she was paired with Bing Crosby as Father O'Malley. The film won 7 Academy Awards and further solidified Rise's status as a household name in the U.S. In 1945, her voice was insured by Lloyd's of London for $1 million, a canny publicity stunt engineered by her husband, the Austrian director Walter Saravi. They were married for 61 years until his death in 2001. She also made 5 television movies, one of Carmen, one of Rosenkavalier. On February the 24th, 1955, she realized her dream of performing a cherished role at the Met, that of Orfeo in Gluck's opera. While the opera never became a staple at the Met, we can still enjoy Rise's take on the role, which she always regarded as her favorite, in 2 broadcasts, the first in 1955, the second in 1958. The role allowed her to make good use of her phrasing and her tremendous chest voice and acting skills. Here she is singing the famous aria Che farò senza Euridice from the Saturday afternoon broadcast of 1955. Risa sang Giulietta on opening night of the 1955 season in a new production of Offenbach's Le Conte d'Hoffmann. It was her last new role at the Met. While she longed for taking on new roles, especially Tchaikovsky's Maid of Orleans, the Met's new general manager, Rudolph Bing, felt that audiences wanted to see her in her core repertoire and the corresponding box office receipts they brought in, and so for the rest of her time at the Met, it was a steady diet of Octavian, Dalila, and Carmen. After 1959, her number of performances each season dwindled to one or two, and after a final Carmen in 1961, she retired from the stage. Her legacy at the Met is truly impressive. Because of her relatively small repertoire, she became synonymous with many of her greatest roles, and this is reflected in the 2 house records for performances that she holds today. She sang Dalila on 32 occasions, and her Octavian graced the Met stage an incredible 72 times, a record I suspect will never be broken. Her 81 performances as Carmen put her in second on the all-time list, as do her 28 performances as Mignon. In retirement, she continued to give back to the Met. In 1963, she was appointed the co-chair of the Metropolitan Opera National Company, which gave young singers a chance to develop their careers and repertoire by performing on tour. She maintained that role until 1968. Over the years, that program has morphed into what is now the Lindemann Young Artist Program. She also hosted some of the Met's first television broadcasts, including the 1972 gala that said farewell to Sir Rudolph Bing. So why do I feel that Rise Stevens deserves to be considered operatic royalty? While her repertoire was admittedly small, she dominated the roles that she sang during her career. For singing and acting, no other mezzo came close to her achievements in them. It's a testament to the quality of her Mignon that the opera has never been given at the Met since her retirement. Her Octavian, headstrong and impetuous, was a superb creation, as was her Dalila. Her Carmen was endlessly alluring, her characterization changing like a chameleon to suit her Don José, sometimes smoldering and seductive, other times cruelly calculating, and on other occasions a fatalistic femme fatale who almost welcomes her death at the hands of her former lover. Her voice could throb with emotion as it did in her Orfeo, and while it wasn't the largest, she wisely knew how to use it during the course of her performance, and when to unfurl it to maximum effect, such as in Octavian's passionate phrases, in the gorgeous love duet that brings Der Rosenkavalier to a close. Here she is, with Eleanor Stieber's radiant Sophie in the Met broadcast of 1946. Met legend, operatic royalty, and one of the great voices, Rise Stevens. And now, this is Verdi Guy 65 signing off from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, Canada, wishing all of you a wonderful musical day.